Let's go to the land of DeFi. Welcome to DeFi, everybody. We're talking about airdrop season. Airdrop season continues apace. There's a bit of a cottage industry these days about which project is going to airdrop tokens next. And the project that did that most recently is ParaSwap. This comes on the heels of the ENS airdrop, which got people pretty hype. If you had a .eth name, you got a lot of tokens in that airdrop. The ParaSwap airdrop, quite interesting in that it's much more targeted of an airdrop. Only like less than 1% of people who ever interacted with ParaSwap, the platform, are eligible to claim these tokens. So more interesting sort of nuance and thought going into how these token distributions occur. But let's talk about it as we get into airdrop winter. Will, is there a name for airdrop season?
We can make a name.
I think it is just like airdrop season. Just like
Just like airdrop season? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Airdrop season.
Wait, did you say airdrop winter?
Because they used to be.
Airdrop winter doesn't sound good. No, it's like it would be sad.
That'd be bad.
It sounds bearish.
It's bad because like you get taxed a lot.
We're gonna have to think about this one. Yeah, not eligible to U.S. users, and you have to meet certain user qualification, like user threshold for being eligible to claim this thing, so that you can't just like use it once and then get free money. The idea that the ParaSwap team is rolling out here is that we need to give this to our most dedicated users so that they can properly administer governance of this platform moving forward. So I'm going to toss this to Jen. I saw your hand go up. We'll throw it to you.
Yeah, so I was reading more about this morning, and it was interesting to me, like you were saying, how much thought went into this, and how they decided on how they were going to reward engaged users. So there's a quote from a blog that was posted on Medium this morning, and they said, "Why should a random whale who came one day before the snapshot date to swap 1,000 ETH at once get more tokens than an average user making frequent 1 to 5 ETH swaps on ParaSwap for more than 2 years?" Then they added that their goal was to find their most engaged users, ones who make sensible token swaps, and reward them. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you think that this is a look into the future, into how airdrops might play out? Or is it just going to be volume-based like we've seen in the past?
The future of airdrops. Tough question.
I think it is. I think it is. I think these are going to get more nuanced. I think the idea that like, you give like the Uniswap airdrop, right? That was like, summer of 2020? That was like anyone who had ever touched Uniswap in any way, shape, or form received some tokens, right? And I think what people are trying to do now is avoid this concept of like free money, instead of like in favor of sort of engaged users. Now, the flip side of that is there's a lot of pissed off people here who there's like 1 million or something wallets that have interacted with this platform over the last 2 years, and less than 1% of them got these token rewards. So there's a lot of people who are saying, hey, why didn't I make the cut? So it's interesting, it's interesting to think about engaged communities may necessarily exclude certain participants who had used the platform in the past. And you're seeing people on Twitter being like, I'm never using ParaSwap again. Like, screw those guys. I didn't get my PSP. I'm gone. I'm going to go use some other stuff. So interesting to like weigh those trade-offs, but we'll see if other teams follow this path going forward, because there's certainly a lot of other speculated airdrops to come. But I'll toss this to Will.
Yeah, just to take like a dorky DeFi take on it for a second. It's fascinating that they chose to do this versus some of the other projects that we've seen airdrop out there. Uniswap was kind of like the airswap most people think about, even though it wasn't the first. But almost anyone who had interacted with the Uniswap contract, even if it had been a failed token swap, received a decent amount of Uni tokens. And if you had a bunch of wallets that interacted with it, all those wallets got Uni tokens. And so it was a huge amount of money that went out there through this token project. ENS was one that happened the other week. Anyone who had a ENS name also got tokens. This one took a different trajectory, and I think it was a good idea that they did it. They necessarily limited it. And that 20,000 person number actually doesn't seem very wrong if you kind of look at these projects and understand like how wallets work and how people spoof things. There's always like this number that there's like millions of DeFi users. Well, there's really not. There's a lot of wallets that people have, and some people have 50 wallets, some people have 100 wallets, some people have 1 wallet. And if you try to like create some parameters, protect how many tokens go out there, it's probably better for the project in the long run, and people aren't just getting air rich for nothing.
Airdrop season. Watch out, everybody. Stay safe out there. Watch for the parachutes coming down, and don't get smushed
Golden
by any
bars hitting your
tokens unwittingly. Yeah. All right. Cool.